Good morning. Um, Wednesday, middle of the week. Good morning, Dora and Susan and Gwen. Yeah, it's very sunny and looks like it could be a good day. Certainly warmer than yesterday. I I expected yesterday to be warmer, and when I took the dog for a walk, I was surprised. It was really quite cold. But I think today's going to be more 50-ish, right? More what I like. So yesterday was National Read a Book Day. I didn't actually read a book. I did get a book from the library, and I, uh, but I didn't really get a chance to read it. So today, maybe I'm going to read a book. I don't know. Yesterday was a busy day. There were a lot of things going on. I guess I did read a book to some kids. So I was on. My friend is a teacher, and She's an online teacher, and so I read to her Zoom class, which was fun. Good morning, Ruth. So yeah, you know, that was kind of, and then there were a couple other things I had to do yesterday. So I don't know, the day just kind of slipped away from me, but I am going to take time to sit down and read a bunch today. So the libraries are closed. You can't walk into the libraries, but if you're ordering things online, you can still pick up. Um, and it's kind of like when you go pick up groceries or something, you just pull up outside and call, and then they will bring it outside and put it in your car. Or sometimes we walk down the library, which really confuses everybody because they don't know what to do when we walk, because we don't have a car from to put it in. So they just set it outside the door and then go back inside, and then we go pick it up. So um, the library is still operating. Even if you can't go in, you can still pick up and drop off and do all that. So that's good. Um, I was talking to the class um, yesterday about when I was a kid, and I spent a lot of time at the library. We had uh, the school that I went to for elementary school was within walking distance of my house. It really wasn't very far at all, maybe like 2 blocks. So I would walk there, and then across the street from the school was um, the public library. So I used to go there, and I would spend um, most of my afternoons there, and it was this kind of crazy giant uh, old Victorian house that they turned into a library. Um, Actually, that's not true. It was built as a library, I think, but it must have been built back then because it had turrets and things. And but what made me realize it was a library is I remember that there's a carved. They have a carving around the turret that says, public library. So that it must have been built to be that. Um, but it was great. It was a great place to hang out and lots of things to read. And I think I should go back sometime. I haven't been back to where I grew up in a very long time. Um, I don't know. It's not near where I am anymore, and there's really no reason to go up there, so I haven't. Um, but I'd like to go and see the library. Isn't that funny? I think that's the only thing that I would like to see in that town. Um, but yeah, it's I'm a big fan of the libraries, and I was worried that in this digital age that we're gonna decide that, oh, who needs libraries anymore and just close them all up. But I hope that doesn't happen because I see how much our library is even used. Kids going and staying there to read and programs that they do. It's just a good service for everybody. Um, we don't have any of those things anymore, right? I mean, we used to have community centers. There used to be, um, I think, more public services like that available to people, and slowly we've kind of gotten away from that. Libraries are kind of the last thing we've got, so um, I hope we keep them. Um, we're doing our part by requesting books all the time. my my husband is just has a never-ending, cycle of books coming in and books going out. So if you want to keep your libraries, make sure that you use them. Um, it's funny, now you feel like it's not as necessary, and I guess it isn't, right? Because with the internet, you have access to a great deal more in the way of reading material, and you can look things up online. Um, it isn't as vital, but it's still um, there's something different about the access to an actual book, I think. Um, so, all right. Um, so let's breathe a little bit. And sitting up, relaxing the shoulders. Notice how you're feeling, what's going on in the body. Setting aside any heavy thoughts or concerns. Right? For this time of practice, we kind of let go of um, any issues we might be having or any problems. We can take a break from that, right? We can give ourselves time to just move and breathe and enjoy this moment. And then dropping the head down toward the chest. Just let your head hang there for a few breaths. Moving around, make a big circle. One way and then the other. and back to center. Lean forward, move around with the body. Big circle. One direction and then the other. Back up to your seat. Arms come wide. Deep breath. Exhale. Hands together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift the hands. And then arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. Lower. Lift. And lower. Once more, lifting up. And right hand by your side, reach across. Switch sides. We'll lift the shoulders, roll back. And forward. Right hand on left knee, left arm behind you. Sit up tall. Deep breath. Twist. Back to center. Switch directions. And back to center. Let's walk the hands out in front. And then hands behind, squeeze shoulder blades together. Gaze up. Back up to your seat. Let's bring the left arm up. And we're going to kind of bring this on the top of the head as much as you can, right? It's not going to really go all the way. And then we're going to kind of draw that head over toward the left, right? Whichever arm you're using. If you're using the other, then, but you want to bring that head gently towards the arm that's lifted. And then release it. We'll switch. And then release it down. Tabletop. Let's sit back on the heels for child's pose. Moving back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Walk your feet up to the hands. And we're here in a fold. Rising slowly. To mountain. Breath in and breath out. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping back with the right. Set your knee down, arms overhead. Hands to the mat, moving back. Downward dog. Forward to high plank. And lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. And lower. Moving back up. One more breath. Right foot steps up. Arms lift. And then hands down to the mat. Back foot steps up. Fold forward. Inhale. Flat back. Exhale, fold. Lifting. Arms overhead. Back to mountain. Take a breath. Lift. With your inhale, exhaling, fold forward. Inhale. Step back. Arms overhead. Hands to the mat. We're moving back to downward dog. High plank and lower. Lifting. And down. Lift. Lower. One more. Lifting up. And lower. Moving back up. You can come to upward dog, or you could just do tabletop to downward dog. One more breath. Step left foot forward. Drop your knee. Arms overhead. And then hands to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Lift. And we're back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Let's step out to the side. Hands at the waist. Take a deep breath. Fold forward. Hands back to the waist. Use that strength in the body to lift you up. And the legs. Take a breath. And then we're going to turn to face the front of the mat. Hands behind, interlace the fingers. Shoulders back. Deep breath. Fold forward. Rising up, press down the right foot. Back foot steps to the front. Arms overhead. Back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Let's step to the left. Another fold. This time, let's grab wrists behind your back, or you could walk the hands up. Forearms, maybe even elbows, if shoulders are that flexible, right? So that's really what is the limiting factor here, is the shoulders, right? So if your shoulders are very tight and very, I don't know, I'm not even sure what the right word for it is, but there are attachments, right, that we get through the shoulder area from lack of use, right? So if you're not moving the shoulders through a range of motion, the muscles tend to get kind of sticky, and they kind of want to connect, which makes it hard then to get that movement again. So what we're doing gradually is we're kind of breaking down those attachments. And, it takes some time, right? So wherever we are with this, take a breath. Fold. Come on back up. So they are called attachments. They're called adhesions. Right? That's the word I'm looking for. Release the hands, arms up over your head. Maybe gaze up. Wiggle your fingers. And then hands down by your side. Let's turn to face the front again. This time left leg is out. Interlace the fingers. Squeeze the shoulders back. Deep breath. Fold forward. Rising up. Back foot steps to the front, arms overhead. And back them out. Breath in and breath out. And then let's do some balance. We can start with just lifting up the right knee. So standing on the left leg, lifting up the right knee about the height of the hip. Foot is flexed, nice and strong. Standing and lifted leg. Nice and upright with the body. Make sure you're not leaning forward with this. Breathe. And then set the foot down. Let's switch. And then set the foot down. Bicycle the legs a little bit. And then let's do our foot exercises. So up on the ball of the foot or just the front part of the feet. Maybe you're just lifting the heels a little bit. So feeling that weight in the front part of the feet. If you can do more, then maybe you lift that whole foot so you are up on the balls of the feet. Right, and you can always set back down and come on back up. But this is a great exercise to do. It's really good for your calf muscles and your legs. It's also really good for that foot flexibility. So if you feel like you don't have a lot of flexibility in the feet, this is a great way to kind of cultivate that, right? Just starting with lifting the heels. And, you'll, as things get stronger and you get that connection, right? Sometimes, especially if you're someone that wears shoes a lot, you lose that connection between the feet and the brain, right? So when you say like, well, flex the feet or move the feet, you're moving like this, but you're not really moving the foot at all. So you have to kind of reconnect that sensation of what it feels like to do that. And then we're going to set down from that. We're going to be on the outside edges of the feet. So be cautious with this. If you have extremely flexible ankles or loose ankle connections, right? If you tend to turn your ankle easily, I do have that happen. So I'm always careful not to go too far with this. I want to still feel very solid and secure through the ankle and the foot. And then you just kind of balance here. Right? Not a lot going on. But it takes a little getting used to. When you first start doing this, you can feel it can feel um, kind of unstable and kind of weird on the outer part of the foot, right? So if you need to take a break and come on back down, you can. Try again. It's all good. The next one is, and you might want to bring the feet a little wider for this. It just depends what works for you. We're going to be pressing down the inner part of the foot, right? So the big toe. The best way to do this, especially if you don't feel like your feet are really too flexible, is to try to just press that big toe down and let the rest of the foot go along with it. And then we're kind of lifting the outer part of the foot. It might not lift very much, but if you keep at it, it will, right? You'll start to feel that you can get that whole foot up, the toes and the sides and everything. And really, it's just that inner part that we're pressing down with. And then rest the foot down. And then we're going to lift up the front part of the foot. So you might be starting just with the toes, right? And feel that flat part of the foot. If you feel steady with that, maybe you come all the way up to the heels. And you might have to move around a little to stay balanced. I know that that's hard for me to stay still with the whole foot lifted. So you can just move around a little if that is helpful. And then set it down. Let's bicycle out the legs a little, just moving through the feet. And then let's come up to the top of the mat, arms overhead, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping back, downward dog. Forward to high plank. And lower down. Head turns right, arms by your side. Let's bring your head to center. And we're just going to lift up. Keep the hands by the side, but flip the palms so they're resting on the mat. And then we're going to lift up head and chest, arms and legs. Lower down, head turns to the left, and relax. Bring your head back to center. We're going to walk the hands out in front. And then rolling up on one side. We'll bend that top knee. And you can hold on to the leg, hold on to the ankle, maybe grab a hold of the toe. We're going to straighten out the leg as much as possible, balancing through the body. You can bend that bottom knee to give you a little more stability. Whatever you need here. And then bending the knee. We're going to roll again. So we're on the other side now. And we'll bend that opposite knee, this one that's on top now. And, see how this side works. And then releasing it. One down, we're going to scooch over. So we're on the mat. I'm off the mat. Maybe you're already on the mat. But coming back onto the mat, onto your back. Take a moment or two to be comfortable here. And then we're going to hug the right leg in, left leg extends. Lowering the knee out to the side. Coming back to center, rolling up on that left hip. Breathe. And then back to center. Switch your legs. lowering that left leg down. Back to center, and then drawing the knee across the body for a twist. Back to center. Extend both legs. Take a few breaths. I'm going to do a supported bridge. Lifting up. Rest your block. Someplace it feels stable and relaxed. And then lifting up. Bring soles of the feet together. Relax and breathe. And when you're ready, you can move right into Shavasana here. So you can just extend the legs, or if you want to bring the knees in and extend the legs and then lower, you can. Whatever you need to do to get yourself in that Shavasana place. Breathe and relax. Find that steadiness. So moving a bit, if you want, um, making your way up to a seat. You could also stay on the mat if you want. I'm not, I'm not going to say anything. We'll bring hands together, breath in and breath out. Thank you for taking time today for your yoga and for sharing your practice with me. I hope that you have a lovely Wednesday. Namaste. So, moving right into meditation, keep that peaceful state of mind. Find a comfortable place. You may just stay laying on the mat. You could do that. Or sitting up comfortably. You could sit in a chair. You could sit against a wall or something to support your back if you want. Traditionally, we don't do that in traditional meditation. You are sitting upright, but it's fine for however you want to do it. I think the real reason, well, I mean, I don't know the real reason, but to me, the reason that makes sense why we sit sort of free of any support in meditation is because it helps keep you more aware of your body, and you aren't going to relax to the point where maybe you'll fall asleep. Although people have fallen asleep sitting straight up, that is a possibility. All right, so we're breathing relaxed, eyes shut. Find that peaceful, calm focus. Breathe. Hey, we're back. Um, okay, so enjoy your day. Get outside and enjoy some sun, and maybe some warmer weather. Although I don't know, we'll see what happens. All right, I'll be back tomorrow.